Boring and dull international break has finally come to an end, and we are set to travel away now and face the Cherries in Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium. It's definitely not going to be an easy game because we usually struggle against them, and in their first 3 matches in the league they are unbeaten, and they coming from a 3-win over Everton. And when it comes to us, we coming from a 1-1 draw against Palace, where we couldn't be clinical enough as usually and bury the chances we created. The same story, and therefore Crystal Palace SA punished us and we missed out on 3 points. But the only thing we can do now is look forward and try to improve further, because it's very key we start picking up wins now if we're gonna have any chance of getting that crucial top 4 spot and gaining Champions League football. So we cannot lose points. It's time to upgrade further, even though we have so many drama happening inside the club. So before we continue any further in this match preview, if you want to be a legend for me, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page and hit that notification bell down below. Of course, Maresca was asked around the sort of civil war between Todd Bowley and Iqbal and how that affects him, and he honestly answered pretty well and dodged that by answering that he is not control of that. He can only focus on what he can do on the team, on the players, on the next game. And that's a brilliant answer, because that is the truth. That is the only thing he has control over, and the same goes for the players. Now I feel really bad for them, and I can have some understanding if performances drops, because this could be in their minds and it could be disturbing what's happening in the club upstairs. Players and the manager, they haven't really done anything wrong, but it's really good on Maresca coming and saying this, because it's definitely going to help and boost the confidence and morale in the team. Going to see if Sancho will be getting a debut. He hinted that they're going to try and find the right opportunity to give him a chance, which hints all that he's not going to really start, but he could be a substitute against Bournemouth. So that's going to be very interesting to see if he's going to play on the left or the right hand side. Chilwell is looking to be back now as well. We got those clarifications from Maresca in the press conference, and I feel really bad for Chilwell and some other players. It wasn't necessary from the club to banish players from the training ground and trade by themselves separately when they haven't even got a deal done with another club. I've never seen a club do this before. Could have just allowed the players to train with you. I don't think you should treat players like that in the club. I think it's really disrespectful. If it was Maresca's choice or the owners, probably the owners, but I think it was really stupid, because now we couldn't offload Chilwell, and now he's like coming back into training because they don't have a choice, and I can only see it's being very awkward. Chilwell has though handled this very professionally, I gotta say that, and he deserves to be treated better after winning 3 major trophies when Thomas Tuchel was here, and always being such a professional player, likable person. I don't think any player should be treated like that unless they have a move away done to 100%. Certain players that will miss the game, and that is Jorgensen picked up an injury. We have still Malo Gusto, Reece James and Lavia out. And I'm really wondering what is happening with James and Lavia. And I feel like we're getting another injury prone player in this club in Malo Gusto, because he was out for a couple of times last year, and now he's out again. I'm getting worried. Talking about Lavia, Reece James, maybe they were stressed back, but I mean, James even had a surgery. He played the whole preseason, took part in training, preseason games, friendlies. Lavia as well. Maybe it was too much football for them too early, but I'm very concerned. Because if they coming back later and they continue to getting these injuries, I mean, what are we gonna do with them? It's not like I would want to sell Reece James or Lavia. They are exceptionally talented players. Lavia has a massive future ahead of him. Reece James is our captain, one of the best players in this team, one of the most important ones. But if they are never available, you're going to have a tough discussion. But we're gonna see. We're gonna give them more time, of course. We're giving them this season and see what's happening, and hopefully, I pray things will get better. I mean, they have to figure out what the problem is. We got news for a couple of weeks ago that James would be back until the beginning of September. Well, we are in the middle of September now, and now Maresca mentioned in the press conference that he might not come back from his injury until late September. So we can never take the PR news from the club and the journalists around that, oh, our players will be back in 2-3 weeks. We have to multiply it by 2. How time we're getting in to the predicted lineup. Now, I think Enzo Maresca is gonna continue with the 4-2-3-1, of course. That changes into a 3-2-4-1, and Sanchez will of course start in goal. And since we don't have a right back, could academy graduate Achimpong get maybe a chance? I wouldn't be against it. I love when academy players get an opportunity. But I think he could be a sub if Maresca feels he doesn't trust him, and therefore I guess we're going with the Sassi at right back, but he's gonna play as a centre back in possession. And when we have Fofana in the middle, Levi Colwill as the left centre back, and more Cucurella inverting into the midfield, because when he did that on the Pochettino, our build-up play and our midfield looked so solid and fluid. So that's something I would like to see. I will experiment and switch Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, because I mean, Maresca said in his press conference he likes players that in the midfield that's going to be playing both as a attacking midfielder and help out defensively. But I feel like Enzo Fernandez cannot do that job. He's not a box-to-box midfielder, and he's not a number 10. Caicedo isn't that either, but there's one thing Caicedo is better than Enzo, and that is that he's faster and is better in terms of winning back the ball. That's why I would like to see Enzo being the deeper one next to Cucurella in possession, because Enzo is immense as playing as a deep line playmaker and dictating the tempo, playing switch ball, long passes. He's not a player that's gonna run up and down constantly, and we're gonna see if that will work for Caicedo. That's why I would like to experiment here, and Caicedo will be the one that is joining in the attack, similar to how Enzo Maresca used Ndidi. It's worth a shot at least. And then we got Cole Palmer in one of the number 10 roles, of course. He has to continue there. He's in superb form. He should have managed to rest up now, because he had a break from international football now because he felt something. I don't know if it was an injury, but he definitely felt something and needed to rest and recover. So he should be ready. And then on the wings, I would have Madueke on the right hand side and Pedro Neto on the left hand side. Madueke is in super form in the current moment. You have to let him continue with that, because you never know what could happen with a player when they are in such form. He is a player that is constantly growing every week and showing very good determination and attitude. And I don't trust Nkunku and João Felix to play as left wingers, because they aren't that for me. And Sancho is someone I wouldn't start immediately. I will ease him in by being a substitute to begin with. And I don't trust Mihailo Mudryk either. So therefore, I will start with Pedro Neto on the left hand side. And up front, I'm going with Nicholas Jackson. He recently signed a well-deserved contract to 2033, so congratulations to him. And Nicholas Jackson, one of the best dribblers in the league. His link-up play is very good. He's press resistant. He's very fast. The only thing he needs to improve at is being clinical and composed in front of the goal, as well as stop winding up the opponents and referees and just focusing on the game. That's what I would like to see. So that's my predicted lineup. Let me know what you would change and we'll happily read it. Now, Bournemouth is not an easy side to win against, and under Iraola he's setting them up in a 4-2-3-1, and they got dangerous players in Kluivert, Cook, Semenyo. They also got Evanilson up front, who is the new striker that will replace Solanke with. And they look pretty solid so far in the beginning of season, and they playing direct counter-attacking football, and we are very susceptible to that under Enzo Maresca's system. So I'm a bit worried. Bournemouth is a dangerous team on the counter-attacks. They also likes to use underlapping runs, overlapping runs, so we have to be able to defend the wide areas exceptionally well tomorrow too. The wingers need to track back and help defensively. But I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think Maresca has answered really well and boosted the morale overall for the team. He has shown great leadership, and I think I think we have many players that has confidence or in form in the current moment. And if we're making a couple of tweaks that makes our midfield much more balanced, both when we're having the ball and when we're defending, I think the performances will be much more better, and I think we can get a 1-2 very narrow victory. It could also end in a 1-1 or 2-2 draw, but I think we just gonna make it by securing 2-1 victory and 3 points. Let me know all your thoughts in comments down below around the score prediction, predict the lineup, and are you worried about these teams, Lavia and Malo Gusto? Do you think Malo Gusto is injury prone now as well? Let me know all the kind of good stuff, and I thank you so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace.